Hi and welcome back to AI Today. It has been a break, but I think a deserved one, a needed one, as we recalibrate and prepare ourselves for another exciting year in the world of artificial intelligence. And no one knows where we go. No one knows where the story continues. And that's why I'm really excited, because today we have something completely different and actually quite static. Chiefly and namely the human condition. So what we want to know is, can AI help us to understand ourselves better? Now, I'm really excited about this because part of my business at Word of Mouth is all about creating differentiation for businesses that are struggling in a sea of sameness. And fundamentally, the challenge that we all have is understanding our people better. These are the things that help our businesses tick. Without people, we would have nothing. We wouldn't have processes, we wouldn't have performance, and we wouldn't, crucially, have the products that our customers need. And let's not forget, the customers are people too. So this is why I'm really excited about today's show. We focus on two key research papers. One which looks at thousands and thousands of hours of human interviews. It's really weird that we have to say human interviews these days, but the truth of the matter is that with things like 11 Labs, you can talk to computers as if they are biological. So we've got that first paper, and then we've got Centaur, which we've covered in the past, relates to a Psych 101 data set, which really goes into details about behavioral characteristics. Smush those two papers together and we've got something really very exciting. And on today's show, we're going to go into that. It's just a 10-minute show after this bit. I hope you enjoy it. And of course, feedback, drop me a note, dave@wordandmouth.com. And of course, if you'd like to come on the show, we don't have guests on all the time, but I would doubtless love to hear your voice. And if you've got something to share, if you've got a product that complements the needs of business leaders of 2025 and beyond, then we would love to have a chat about that. But until then, enjoy the show, strap in, and I'll see you on the other side.
It's no secret that tons of businesses start with good intentions, but they end up failing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it seems like they just miss the mark when it comes to understanding their people and what they actually need.
Right.
Like that's kind of the root of the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're diving into some research today that explores how AI can help bridge that gap.
Cool.
So the first study we're looking at, it introduces this AI model called Centaur.
Oh, okay.
And it was trained on this huge data set of human behavior.
Oh.
It's called Psych 101.
Okay.
And it includes, get this, over 10 million choices made by something like 60,000 people.
Wow.
In 160 different psych experiments.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of data.
Yeah, that's a ton.
So what's really impressive is that Centaur, it can actually predict human behavior.
Right.
Even in situations it hasn't seen before.
Okay.
Like it's not just memorizing the answers from the data set, it's learning these underlying patterns of how we think.
Yeah, and it can even outperform those other models that are out there.
It's doing a better job.
Like the existing cognitive models.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
So the study actually highlights Centaur's adaptability by using this kind of quirky example.
Oh, really?
It's this weather prediction task.
Okay.
And it's based on tarot cards.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
So how does that work?
Sounds kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
But it shows how Centaur can take all this information
Okay.
that seems totally unrelated and then adapt to a totally new situation.
Okay.
So Centaur's learning from all of this experimental data.
Yeah.
But the second paper we're looking at, it takes a totally different approach.
Okay, so what's that one about?
This one is all about these things called generative agents.
Generative agents.
They're like AI simulations of real people.
So like AI people?
Pretty much.
Wow.
So they built these agents using interviews with over 1,000 real people.
Interesting.
And they use these large language model to create these incredibly detailed AI personalities.
Oh, wow. So you're saying it's like having a digital twin of a real person?
But powered by AI.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Yeah. So what can these generative agents actually do?
Yeah, good question.
Well, the research shows that they can accurately replicate how those real people, they would respond to surveys.
Okay.
And it could even predict their personality traits.
Really?
And they even tested these agents in economic games.
Like what kind of games?
Like the trust game.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and they got some pretty impressive results.
So they can predict how someone would act based on just an interview.
Yeah, basically.
That's pretty amazing.
And that seems like a really powerful tool for understanding how people make decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if we can model that,
Uh-huh.
then businesses could potentially design better systems
Okay.
and strategies that are actually more aligned with human needs.
Right. And motivations.
Yeah, and maybe avoid some of those pitfalls that we see businesses falling into.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of the hope.
Yeah. So much of business success is really about predicting the future in a way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like anticipating those market trends and figuring out what customers are going to want next.
Exactly.
It's like the companies that can do that, well, they've got some secret weapon or something.
But what if these AI models could be that secret weapon?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
Right. Like imagine businesses could use these models to test out their strategies in a virtual world.
Okay.
A world populated with these generative agents.
Almost like a business crystal ball.
Right. Exactly.
You could experiment with different product launches or see what happens if you change your prices.
Exactly. And you could do it all without any real world risks.
No consequences if it goes badly.
Right. And we could even go deeper than just like a yes or no answer about whether something works.
So like what else could we look at?
We could see how those decisions play out in terms of customer loyalty or how the brand is perceived.
Okay.
We could even look at employee morale.
That's interesting.
It's about understanding the human side of business decisions.
Yeah, like the ripple effects. It seems like that's way more powerful than like traditional market research.
Right, because instead of just asking people what they think, we're actually observing how they might behave.
In a more realistic setting.
Yeah, in a simulated environment.
Okay.
And because these AI models are built on real data from real people,
Right.
they might be able to pick up on those subtle things.
Like what kind of things?
The things that really drive our decisions.
Those gut feelings.
Yeah, even the things that don't seem rational on the surface.
The stuff we don't even realize is influencing us.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've been talking about how this could help businesses.
Yeah.
But could this technology also help us understand human needs on a more individual level?
That's a really important point.
Not just as consumers,
Right.
but as people.
Yeah, I think these models have the potential to help us understand what truly motivates us.
Like why we do the things we do.
Exactly why we make the choices we make, even the ones that don't seem to make sense.
That's powerful.
It is.
So instead of just predicting what we'll buy or how we'll perform at work,
Yeah.
these models could help create products and services that actually improve our lives
Right.
and contribute to our well-being.
Exactly. Like, think about it.
Okay.
We could have educational tools that are tailored to each student's learning style,
Oh, wow.
or healthcare systems that are more responsive to each patient's needs.
That would be amazing.
It would.
So this all comes back to that core question we started with.
Yeah.
How can businesses be more in tune with those human needs?
Right.
Is integrating these AI insights into their operations the answer?
It's definitely a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Imagine businesses using data from these models to inform every level of their operation.
So instead of relying on gut feeling,
Uh-huh.
decisions about product development, marketing, even customer service would be based on a deeper understanding of human behavior.
Exactly. And businesses could constantly be asking themselves,
Okay.
what's the AI telling us?
Yeah.
What are the human needs at play here? How can we use this knowledge to make better decisions?
So it's like creating this feedback loop
Yes,
between human understanding and business operations,
exactly.
with AI as the bridge.
That's it.
We've talked about Centaur learning from all those data sets, and then the generative agents being built from interviews.
Right.
But are there other ways AI could help us understand human needs?
Oh, definitely. Researchers are exploring all kinds of exciting possibilities.
Like what?
Well, one that really stands out is using AI to analyze how we use language.
Oh, yeah, like natural language processing.
Exactly. And we're already seeing this with sentiment analysis.
Right, where AI can tell you if someone's happy or upset based on what they're writing.
Yeah, like in social media posts or customer reviews.
A lot of companies are using that already.
Yeah, to get a feel for how people feel about their brands.
Exactly.
But we can actually go way deeper than that.
How so?
Well, AI can start to identify patterns in how people talk about their needs, their values, and their aspirations.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine being able to analyze thousands of customer service calls or online forum discussions.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
It is, but think about it. You could uncover those unspoken needs that people may not even realize they have.
It's like reading between the lines, but on a massive scale.
Exactly, yeah. It's almost like tapping into the collective subconscious.
That's kind of mind-blowing.
It is, and the potential for businesses is huge.
In what way?
Well, they could design products and services that really resonate with people.
By addressing those hidden needs.
Exactly, the needs that they didn't even know they had.
So we've got natural language processing and sentiment analysis and all these other AI tools starting to decode the human experience.
Right.
But how do we put it all together?
That's the big question.
How do businesses actually integrate these insights into their operations?
Well, that's where the real work begins.
It's not enough to just have the data.
Right. It's not enough to just collect it. You have to make it actionable.
So how do you do that?
Well, it requires a shift in how businesses approach decision-making.
Moving away from intuition and gut feeling.
Exactly. And starting to incorporate those data-driven insights that we've been talking about.
Into every level of the organization.
Yeah, from product development to marketing to customer service.
Constantly checking in with the AI.
Right. Like, what's the AI telling us about what people need and what motivates them?
And using that knowledge to make better choices.
Exactly. It's creating that feedback loop we talked about.
Between human understanding and business operations.
With AI as the bridge.
But it's not a one-time fix, right?
No, it's definitely an ongoing process.
Because our understanding of human behavior is constantly evolving.
Exactly. People are complex and their needs are always changing.
So businesses need to be more agile, more experimental.
Exactly. The future belongs to those who can navigate the complexities of the human experience.
And these AI tools might be the key.
I think so.
To unlocking a deeper understanding of our needs and motivations.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is. You've given us a lot to think about today.
I hope so.
It's clear that AI is rapidly changing how we understand human behavior.
For sure.
And that has huge implications for businesses.
Absolutely.
So what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this conversation?
I think the biggest takeaway is this AI is giving us these incredible new tools to understand human behavior. And the businesses that embrace these tools, they'll not only have an advantage in the marketplace, but that could also create a more human-centered world.
The technology actually serves people.
Exactly, not just companies. It's a powerful idea.
It is, and it's up to all of us to figure out how to use it responsibly.
I agree.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with this question. How can we use this technology to create a better future for everyone?
It's something we all need to be thinking about.